Alright, the music that is on is the Liverpool Five doing Stepping Stone, Boy's Heart song made popular by the Monkees. And this is what we're going to call Cheetah Masala. It is a Tikka Masala. It's kind of how I do it. There we go. But I got to admit, I cheat because I use a pre-mixed sauce. But it's delicious. It's reasonably expensive. This should feed 4 to 6 people with rice. We'll do ingredients as we go. Ingredients are in the description, and we're going to go fast. 2 green bell peppers, chopped. I already got the oil going, as you can see. They're cleaned. Video in the description of how I do that. And I got my heat up high. And they go in first because they take the longest to cook. Now, cut that one in half. This, on top of sauteing stuff, also requires a little time to cook as a sauce. I'm doing it on high heat to saute and doing it in a pot to minimize my pots and pans that I use. It does change things a little bit, flavor-wise, but it's all good, man. It still tastes great. We're gonna let this get going. Just so you know up front, this video may be in 2 parts, maybe even 3, because I don't edit and I only got 17 minutes to put it together. If it is in 2 parts, I'm gonna do the plating separately as a 3rd part if I can't get this done in the 17 minutes I have allotted, but I can't see that not happening. Alright, now is also when, as soon as these start browning, I'm going to add 2 cut up onions. They're diced, not really diced, but close to it. And we're going to get those going. We'll put this over here. This is like the longest, hardest part of this whole thing right here. Once the onions start browning is traditionally when I would add in my hot peppers, if I put in hot peppers. However, I made a pepper sauce that I'm going to use in this, a pineapple habanero sauce that I'm going to use in that, which is one of my first videos. Link in the description. Or I might use a beet hot sauce that I've come making with a jalapeno beet to spice it up, which is really surprisingly excellent. It was just a whim. Video in the description, link in the description. So anyway, let's just we'll give you a quick over on the ingredients. We have the peppers and onions going there. We'll let them go. My beans are draining. I have black beans, cannellini beans, kidney beans, can of each. They're already draining in the sink, draining and de-starched. Link in the description video. What else we got here? I have a Inspirations Tikka Masala simmer sauce. It's not really Tikka Masala, but it is really good. I enjoy it. I use pineapple chunks, 100% juice, can of mushrooms. Okay, we got stems and pieces and, you know, that sort of stuff. This right here is the juice drained out of the pineapple. We're going to use that. And I got a pound of extra, what do they call it? Is it extra stiff? Extra firm tofu. This can be made with chicken. It's excellent. This is excellent with scallops. This is excellent with shrimp. This is also fantastic as a side with a piece of baked fish. You can use, instead of, I'm using a whole head of garlic, and the cloves are, any bigger cloves are cut so that all the cloves are the same size. You can also use jarred minced garlic, which I do use quite often. And the key is to this is that you use a high heat. You want to get the sugars to start caramelizing. and you want it to have it fast. So we got peppers, garlic, and onion in there. All right. We are starting to see brown on everything, which is good. I'm just gonna let it take in those vapors. I love the smell of sauteing onions. Now, a lot of times I will be adding different spices to my stuff. This is, I sometimes do, but it's not that often because the tikka masala sauce is spicy enough. The only time I will add usually any spices other than a hot pepper sauce or hot peppers directly to this is, all right, there we go. See, we're starting to caramelize on the bottom. So we're gonna turn this down. We're gonna keep it going. I gotta get a little more oil in there. Actually, you know what I can put in there to get that up? A little bit of the pineapple juice will help. There we go. And get that right up. We wanna get that going. I gotta turn my heat down. Ooh, I might have overdone that. So let's, yeah. You know what? How to manage crisis, I'm gonna show you right now. It got too hot. So what I'm gonna do is, I was trying to rush it for the filming sake. So I'm gonna put a little more oil in another pan. All right, this is like a crisis management thing. A little more olive oil. And we're just gonna swap this over. Everything's starting to caramelize, but some stuff was starting to burn. And we wanna prevent that from happening. We don't wanna distort our flavors. So this is sometimes how you manage a crisis. Beautiful. And we got the talking heads on in the background now. I'm actually kind of psyched about this, believe it or not, because it's sort of like shit that happens when you're cooking. There we go. Anyway, everything's caramelizing nicely, and now we're in a non-burned pan. Yeah, I let that get away from me. I should have turned it down to about 6. I had it up all the way so I could make stuff happen fast. And that should be a lesson to everybody, especially me, right? So here we are, we're sauteing again. We're at like 6, and it's already starting to brown and caramelize again. And it smells amazing already. All right. We can just go a little higher. My dogs now, whenever I start doing this, my dogs start wanting to go out, which is always the case. Now, the idea is to keep this stuff hot as everything goes in. So that way it's already up to speed. I'm at like 7 or 8 right now. And I want to give this just a little tiny bit more, and then we're gonna make our move. Oh God, so good. I gotta get my onions just a little bit softer. What's nice about this is it's kind of a quick, semi-fancy dinner. I don't know if that's the way to do it, but now what we're going to do is we're going right in with the pineapple, because we want to get the fluid in there. That is a whole can, and it's important, chunked pineapple. And the reason you use chunked pineapple is because they core it, and then they cut off the outside and the can size, and that gets rid of the edges. That's what the tidbits are. So you get really the best chunks of pineapple in there. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to throw in the tikka masala sauce. And we're going to turn this beastie down. Put it down on low right now. All right. There we go. Now we got it low, but everything's hot. And to rinse this jar out, there's a lot of sauce left in there. This is where I save the pineapple juice. Instead of using water, I prefer to use something flavorful. Pineapple juice is flavorful. All right. I cook on electric, so you have to remember. Oh, Blondie. God, did I have a crush on Debbie Harry as a kid. What a great band, too. The electric burners stay hot. So when you turn the heat down, sometimes you want to remove your cookeries, whatever you're cooking, from the heat, so that you don't burn anything. All right, we're gonna put this at like 3, and this is smelling amazing already. I'm gonna use a can of the mushrooms, stems and pieces. Helps fatten everything up, gives a nice consistency. And what we're going to do is we're going to give one last rinse with a little bit of pineapple juice for that tikka masala sauce. As you can see, it's still steaming away here. And this is nice because, like I said, you get all the tikka masala sauce out, but you're also adding flavor. Sometimes you end up using water. And the problem I have with water is it sort of dilutes flavors, as where this is, while it seems to take the tikka masala down a little bit, it is in fact adding a lot of flavor. So, bean skin, we don't want that in there. All right. There we go. Look at that. Nice and juicy. Oh, smells so good. All right, now we're gonna go right for the kill here. This is 1 can black beans, 1 can kidneys, and 1 can cannellinis. I always do my beans no salt added. I try and do everything I can no salt added. We like to leave salt on the table for people as they choose, rather than put it in the cooking. There are a few times you'll see us use salt. One of them is with chili. If we don't use salt directly, we do in our house use McCormick's chili mix, which is excellent. It makes a very nice chili, at least we think so. And it does have a good amount of salt in it. All right, there is one last ingredient to go in here. That is, that is our plant-based tofu. I cut this package, drained this out. It does come packaged in water. And I can only show you how I do it. I'm sure there's a million other ways to do this. I'm going to need a longer knife. This is a good one. I turn it on its side. I go like that. And I go like this. Then I go this way a bunch of times. Going 5 times that way. So each one of these is like 25, 30 pieces. And this goes in. And voila, we are done. Now, all this needs to do is get stirred in. And the nice thing about tofu is that tofu takes the flavor of whatever it's in, so the tofu will absorb the flavor. It's nice protein, and yes, this is vegetarian, which is why this is also really nice with fish or something like that. Now with the scallops or the shrimp, before I added the tikka masala sauce while it was on hot, I would have thrown shrimp or scallop in there, or chicken, cubed chicken, and cooked it then, and it's very, very nice. Now we're just going to let this sit. All right, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to add just a little bit more of this. I think that'll do it. I'm looking for a consistency more than anything on it, and I think we're there. So that's it. I'll plate this up when it's done. I'm going to let it go. and let it cook for a while on a simmer. And voila, plating up part 2.